expectations built in today about the quality of life, the quality of job, the level of income for which one expects in return. Why? Because we look at the level around us that it takes us to have a fairly decent level.
No, that's not why. I may have all sorts of expectations. The question is, what can I do? If someone else is subsidizing my expectations will be far higher. Insofar as the Center for Advanced Study was subsidizing my expectations a few years ago, I refused to work at UCLA for the normal full professor's salary. Why should I when I can get the same money for being at the Center for Advanced Study with no hours, no duties, and no classes?
What's going on, everyone? Socks Kenny here today. We'll be reacting to a video with Thomas Sowell slamming the welfare system. My thoughts is, hey, look, man, 33% of Americans are currently on some social program right now, some social government program. And this is subsidizing bad behavior in my view. But hey, let's get into the video.
What the welfare system and other kinds of governmental programs are doing is paying people to fail. Insofar as they fail, they receive the money. Insofar as they succeed, even to a moderate extent, the money is taken away. This is even extended into the school systems, where they will give money to schools with low scores. Insofar as the school improves its education, the money is taken away, so that you are subsidizing people to fail in their own private lives and become more dependent upon the handouts.
I mean, where's the lie? When you go on unemployment, right? They don't give you incentives to find a job, right? Like, this is one I think, like, as a small, like, intermediate step to go towards everyone's no longer dependent on the government. The government programs need to make someone better the way they found it. Like, if you come into the social welfare system, you should leave out better than how you found the welfare system. But that's not the case. What usually happens is people get in and they're like, oh, this is, I don't have to pay rent. Oh, I only pay $50 for rent because the welfare system covers most of my rent. Oh, I can spend my money on this. I can spend my money on that. Like, there's no incentive. They get comfortable being in that position, right? And there's no incentive to, like, figure your life out. And this is why I think social welfare programs should be temporary to some degree. Like, maybe there's like a 4-year time limit that you have on the system. And then within that system, they're pushing you, hey, get these job skills. Hey, look, we need a workforce here. This is one way government can have a lower unemployment rate. Bruh. By trying to train people who are on welfare to say, hey, like, try to use these fields. We need more of these people in the system. We need this. We need to increase this workforce, especially in the trades. Like, in the trades, there's statistics out there that they're aging out. And no one wants to do the jobs. That's one way the welfare system can, like, I guess, lead people into those directions. It's good paying jobs. You can make almost $80K a year with no college, debt, but no one wants to do it.
It doesn't make sense.
I don't understand why. I guess it's because everyone wants the status of some office job behind a desk. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into the video.
We have expectations built in today about the quality of life, the quality of job, the level of income for which one expects in return. Why? Because we look at the level around us that it takes us to have a fairly decent level.
No, that's not why. I may have all sorts of expectations. The question is, what can I do? If someone else is subsidizing my expectations will be far higher. Insofar as the Center for Advanced Study was subsidizing my expectations a few years ago, I refused to work at UCLA for the normal full professor's salary. Why should I when I can get the same money for being at the Center for Advanced Study with no hours, no duties, and no classes?
Cut off welfare tomorrow. What will they do? What will be their immediate response? At what price to their small children and to their middle-aged children? Yes, they'll get a job. In fact, the statistics show that women, in fact, are the most successful through the employment program. But what has to supplement that typically is the provision of some kind of daycare arrangement. Either the individual woman has to earn enough money to be able to pay privately for her daycare, or in fact she is, quote, subsidized through this insidious corrupting program.
And this is my thing, man. It seems like these programs come out here, and I hear this talking point all the time, is that it seems like the government wants to go out of their way to make sure women don't suffer the consequences of their bad choices, right? It's like a delayed ramifications for their actions. Because to me, when something's delayed, it's like a force multiplier. If you're a gamer, you know what I'm talking about. It's just like when the damage finally hit, it's just like a stack of bricks because you just delayed it so long instead of suffering the incremental mistakes you make and doing this stuff, right? Because she was talking about, like, oh, even if they find a job, they won't have enough money to pay for daycare. Women are going through that right now. And it's a big daycare is a big problem, especially for single mother households. Like if you don't live, that's why there's one of the reasons my mom was a single mom. The way she got around paying daycare and stuff, she lived where her family's at. So they're like, hey, can you pick up my son here? Oh, okay. And he stay at your house and then I'll come by after work and get him. That's one way. Like if you're resourceful, you'll find a way around it. But most people are not going to want to do that effort. They don't want to move near their family. They want to make it out on their own. They want to be strong and independent. And then boom, they get hit with these costs. And now they're saying, oh my God, daycare is so expensive. Government come subsidize this. And this is what Thomas Sowell was talking about. That you're just going to keep looking to the government. Oh, come save me. Come save me. Please come save me. I know this is a lot with black women. And I think this is why majority of them, I think like at a 96%, they're loyal to the Democratic Party, because the Democratic Party are their new daddy now. I'm just saying, man, don't come over here.
How dare you?
And get mad at me. I'm just stating facts. Black community has the highest utilization rate of welfare, of these child programs. You heard of the welfare queen? It's a stereotype for a reason. You're on welfare and then your daughter gets pregnant at 16. I seen it myself. Then she goes on welfare. It becomes like a hustle at this point. They're taking advantage now. 60% of Americans don't pay taxes. That's them. But then they want you to tax the rich more. Bruh. Why? The top 10% of taxpayers, they're responsible for 90% of the tax revenue in America today. And you want them to pay more taxes?
It doesn't make sense.
That's why I'm saying tax rich come off as greedy, jealousy, envy. That's what it comes across, because there's no real practicality to it. If you're telling me 10% of taxpayers are responsible for 90% of the tax revenue, why you want to keep going taxing the 10%? That's why when you raise taxes, the middle class end up suffering, because the people know realistically the top 10% ain't gonna pay anymore. They paid 90% already. Where are we gonna get more of the money? We got to go to the people who are not paying taxes, and that's usually what? The middle class and the lower class people. I'm just saying, this is why the tax rich will inadvertently always hurt the little guy in the long run. But hey, I digress. Let's get back into the video.
Set of programs run by the federal government, which in fact makes her employable and a taxpayer. It's an interesting notion of trying to get people in a productive mode.
Tom Sowell.
It's incredible the way you start the story in the middle, as if there's a predestined amount of poverty, a predestined amount of unemployment, and that the welfare system is not itself in any way responsible for that.
There is a predestined 20% of the bottom half of the population.
I have never, that's always been true.
There's going to be 20% at the bottom.
I agree with you. It's also true that 20% of the bottom population doesn't have to be living on the government and ruled by the government.
Hey, Thomas Sowell, boy, he going in. So the statistic about the bottom 20%, apparently, because at the end of the day, you live in a capitalist society. You can't sit here and say, oh, the bottom 20% are poor. You're allowed to move income class. Like, there's nothing stopping you. It's just like how much you're willing to work. How much you're willing to work to go through the income class. If you look at the taxpayers, the people, like, this how it goes is, whoever was at the top 1% by a certain year, they're not at the 1% anymore. You can easily get to the 1% if you sell your house. You'll be considered, oh, you're top 1%. But you know that's not a consistent income. So next year you'll go right back to your usual levels, right? So this is where one way that Thomas Sowell says that people mess with statistics to try to prove some narrative that, oh my God, we need the government program to help the bottom 20%. When the people in the bottom 20% is like, if you're in a competitive market like capitalism, people going to move it up and down throughout the system, year to year, day to day. Like it's like to me, this stuff don't make any sense. This is how the government try to justify you needing them with these statistics. With we gotta support the bottom 20%, and like Thomas Sowell pointed out, the government don't need to come here and save the bottom 20%. The bottom 20% in America today have running water. They're good. They're fat most of the time. There was a funny story I heard. Africa. Oh, I want to go to America because even the poor people are fat. That's America. And then everyone will sit here and this capitalism is not fair. No, it's because you keep looking at the top 1%. You're envious of what they have and you want that. So you think taxing them will help you get to that level, or at least bring them down to where you're at. But I got to tell you something. That ain't going to happen.
Nope.
That's not gonna happen. If the rich is responsible for 90% of the tax revenue, bruh, New York is crying right now because they just lost 2,000 millionaires. I don't know where those 2,000 millionaires went, but it's estimated that they lost 33 billion tax dollars just from 2,000 people moving out of the state. But yeah, I want to keep taxing the rich. Okay. Well, that's all for the video today. Let me know what your thoughts are about the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.